so much. We're super near 200. We must be near 200. No, we're actually 193. Ooh. Oh. It bounces up and down. Sad. Okay. Yeah, Damascus, welcome to the many. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, now, after the scrub hype is done, guys, now's a good time to start asking questions, and now's a good time to start bringing them in. Because we watched 3 games today. Let's go onto our lovely screen over here. There you go. Find a keyframe if you can. Oh god, Kiko Bang as well. Kiko Bang, welcome to the many. Let's not do too many ohm hypes. Okay. So now we're going to get questions coming in from the Twitch chat, and I'm going to answer them. Hopefully they're going to be Sombra based, some of them won't be, but hey, I'll generally answer like the non-Sombra ones as fast as possible, like Arcathor Bot here, asking a question about which heroes create the highest pressure. I think Soldier creates a huge amount of pressure, just because there's a huge, like if you imagine around Soldier, the amount of space, oh for God's sake, here we go as well. Cadillac, that's such a good name, 722 with 3 months on the resub, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. People being very supportive today. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So Soldier 76 exerts a huge amount of pressure around him. If you think about the amount of space, like if you just imagine it's just you and Soldier 76 and you're just running around, you're not shooting back. Imagine all the areas, like if you're on Gibraltar and Soldier's like stood on the high ground and he's just shooting around, or he's still on top of the hangar. Like imagine all the areas in that where Soldier 76 can kill you. That's all his pressure that he's exerting, right? He's just putting out that pressure of, if you went to this area and you aren't safe, I can kill you here. McCree, for example, if he's in the same position, if you're further away from him, he has less pressure. If Tracer's up there, she has like no pressure up there because she's not putting out any threat. If Widowmaker's up there, she has a huge amount of pressure, but when you get close to her, she's suddenly exerting no pressure. Or if the enemy team's all in her face, she's exerting suddenly very little pressure. So that's kind of how pressure works in that kind of, in the way you think about it. So I'd say Soldier has very high pressure. Roadhog has very, very high, like what I would call like very thick, girthy, meaty pressure. Because when you are in his kill range, it's so dangerous to be there that you don't want to be there. And that's sort of how he's a tank, because he pushes people away from him, he pushes them back, because when you're in that hook range, you are so close to death at any moment. Unless you have a Reinhardt, for example, that's counteracting that pressure, and so on, so on, so on, so on. So that's kind of how pressure works. Let's see. A hack Soldier can't use run. Yep, you disable his hips. He's obviously got implants in his hips that make him run properly, because he's an old man. He's a grumpy old man. God, all the hype. All the hype, I love it. What Sombra flavor is ice cream? It's cyberpunk flavor. I mean, we've done the ice cream question before for Sombra, and it was mocha. It was mocha. Wow, this is a lot of... You are sub to a lot of things, Akthilbot. Thank you for supporting Twitch so diligently. Holy shit. Let's see. I think people are talking about... Are you guys talking about people in consoles? Because I did read a lot recently about people in consoles using stuff like Sim 4, I think it's called, where you can basically use a keyboard and mouse that like inputs to a controller, and it acts like a controller, but you're using keyboard and mouse, and so it just like it's completely fucking console balanced, and Blizzard aren't happy about it. Can we see what the enemy? Can we see what the enemy sees when an invisible Sombra gets too close? I don't think I've ever seen it. Is it just a shimmer? It's like, imagine if you took all Sombra's purple glowy bits and it's sort of her face. It's that you see. Artie, if you're about, we could probably load it in game. Oh, don't look! You're gonna see all my details. All my friends playing. Oh, oh. We can see if Artie's around, then I can show you perhaps in a couple of seconds. The devs keep saying that the community have not figured out how to play Sombra properly. What do you think they mean? I think that the devs have seen that people are still trying to play her too much like an assassin. That they're trying too much to play her. Like she's some sort of, you know, killer, backline killer, thriller. Whoops, wrong one. Are you Pixel Dick? I don't think RT's Pixel Dick. I don't know who Pixel Dick is. Whoever Pixel Dick is, no. Unless RT is Pixel Dick, in which case I'll find out in a second. Unless Ryan's around or someone, or Mist. Off color will do. Off color will do. I'll put off color to work. Settings, skirmish. Dave, that was too quick. Anyway, let's keep asking questions while I just figure this out. So yeah, I think that people are trying to play her too much like a flanker. Like she's doing too much. And she's like being it, like people are trying to kill too much with her rather than playing her more like supportive, relying on the EMP. All that kind of stuff. There we go, now I'm group leader. Okay, custom game, there we go, settings, skirmish. While I do this, I think we are fine here. None. Give off colored, no options. Let's set it to a better map for this as well, which is none. And here we go, that'll do. Damn it, missed. Mine's mist lurking in here as well. Okay, this should do it. And yeah, I think that's why. Sombra as a support role, opinion, if yes, what comp? Don't pick Sombra instead of a healer, a dedicated healer. That doesn't work. I don't think she brings enough to the table.
Everything can be hacked, and everyone.
Like, you definitely want to be running standard supports. You just want to be making sure that you're capitalizing so much on the EMP and relying on that. Don't take her instead of a support. So, you see? She's like a ghost. And you can see fades in and out.
Been here all along.
And it's pretty close. It's like to about here, for example. It's about that distance. So about 2 meters, 3 meters. You just got to be very careful about it. Like, sometimes you'll just see her shimmer. When she stealths, I think she gets like a little bit of perma-stealth. But it is very easy to sort of see through it. But you notice, like, if I come back in and out, she'll be able to see me. And yeah, that's kind of how it looks.
Thanks. I know who's been naughty.
Do I have...
Mess with the best and die like the rest. Get down. Hey.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Let's go back to questions. Thank you, Off-Colored, by the way. Back on the Discord. Reality. Let's go this way. Okay. Let's go to questions. Sorry. That's what that looks like. But yeah, definitely you want to be playing on more normal team comps. Just use Sombra as your DPS. Don't overthink it. Don't think about too much support, because you'll be losing a lot of healing. And trying to play around health packs, it kind of works, but it's not great. I don't think it works fully. If you have a choice between hacking a tank or a healer, do you always prioritize a healer? If she has ultimate, absolutely. It depends. I'd say like most of the tanks are also a lot more vulnerable to hacks in terms of the impact it has. So like hacking a Zenyatta is annoying because he can't swap all his orbs around, but he's still healing. He's still doing things. Lucio can't swap aura, so if you hack him on speed, it's kind of okay. But for example, he's still providing speed to his team. He just can't swap and he can't amp. If you hack a Mercy, she can't Guardian Angel away, which is kind of useful. But if you hack a Reinhardt, he can't use his barrier. Like, that's huge. If you hack a Zarya, she can't protect you. If you hack a Hog, he can't hook, he can't huff, he can't do anything. If you hack D.Va, she can't fly. It's huge impact. So if you want to, better hack targets in general, are going to be the tanks. The exception is if Mercy, for example, has a res and you know she has a res, then hack the fucking Mercy so you can't use the res. That gives you guys a window of opportunity. Would you say that Sombra is a hero that needs a team to build around her for her to be effective? Yes. Your team has to know what to do and how to do it, how to react properly to the ultimate, and also just be coordinating a little bit more. Make sure that you are well coordinating with your team. If you are not a vocal person, if you are not able to communicate well with your team, Sombra might not be the best pick for you. You've got to coordinate with the team. You've got to, because you cannot do stuff on your own. You are so reliant on the team when you're playing Sombra. Let's see. If your team has 2 healers, is hacking health packs particularly effective, or should you reserve it for enemies? It's still effective. Like, it's still an option for your team. It builds up your ultimate. The more important thing to do, like if you're running 2 healers, which you probably are, taking enemy health packs is super effective as well. It's a nightmare if you have a Sombra and they don't, or if they have a Sombra you don't, then you don't have these health packs available to you. You can really take over the game in some way. Does a Sombra comp need a soldier or a McCree for range damage? Should the team build all dive? You can build all dive. I don't think a soldier is mandatory. I think a soldier is pretty good. Just because soldier especially benefits a huge amount off of EMP. If you're very, 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 very coordinated, you could try and do something where you just like, you fire off Deadeye, and then they all huddle behind the Reinhardt barrier and you just EMP it. Like, that would be a really good way, for example, to just set McCree up with a shitload of kills. But in general, soldier I think is a little bit better, a little bit more reliable. You could definitely run like Genji plus Sombra very reliably. Like Genji, Sombra, Winston is probably a really strong team comp, and you can play really aggro with it. You just build up an EMP, you go in hard, and you just fight. Like, for example, imagine if you're playing Genji and there's a fucking Mercy who can't Guardian Angel, it's such a free kill. Or Genji plus Winston on a Mercy that can't Guardian Angel, it's so free. So it's a really good team comp. It's just making it work is much harder than most people are willing to do in comp. What do you think about the, about attack Sombra plays type? Hacking for your health packs but backline harassing more, trying to hack Ryan's divas. I think if you're going to try and do that, you just want to play Tracer. Tracer does it better, is the short answer. Like, if you're trying to assassinate people in the backline, it's so much harder to do on Sombra than it is on Tracer. You just might as well play Tracer. You gotta focus on what she's strong at, which is denying the health packs, which is building ultimate fast, and which is getting EMP. Trying to hack Reinhardt's and stuff, if it works, it's amazing. If it works, it's absolutely superb, but it's not reliable, I would say. It's just not reliable enough to where you can do it well, and if you can do it well, then maybe you can get some value off it. Like if you can get onto the high ground behind them on Hollywood and no one else is up there, then maybe it can work, but it's still very, very tenuous. Hey, Cludy, yeah, is that Cludy? Yes, it is. Cludy5463, welcome to the many, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, Artie, I didn't think. Let's not give your deets away too much. I want to answer this question though. Do you think Sombra is ever viable on defense? Most of the footage today leads to think otherwise. I don't think so. I think Sombra is a really bad pick on defense. The reason is that, again, Sombra depends on the team comp working well, and you guys, you've got to initiate with EMP, but when you're defending, you're not initiating. So that advantage just vanishes. You're basically, she's a character with a very strong initiation and allows for a powerful follow-up, but the enemy team is the one initiating, so you've got to be using it for counter initiation, which is not as easy as just initiating with her. You might as well just be playing Soldier, be playing Reaper, be playing McCree, stuff that could just deal damage to the enemy team and make it harder for them to do stuff. I think Zen and Sombra should be besties because Hack plus Discord would equal Melt. Good duo for comp. It's okay. Like, I think view Hack less as like, oh, we must kill this target, and like, if Zenyatta can reliably put a Discord orb on a target, then you might be able to just kill them. Just because of that damage increase. The damage bump will be very good for you. It's just, can he keep it on there? Can he maintain it on there, for example? It's actually very difficult and not really going to be reliable. I'd honestly say, like, right now with the current meta, you probably want to be running Ana and Lucio. And the reason why you want to be running Ana and Lucio is because they have, again, very hard-hitting initiation, and that's what you need. Because when the EMP goes down, you want to be on speed, you want to be getting into the enemy team as fast as possible, making sure that moment of panic when like they realize, oh, I can't do anything, and people aren't familiar with like what to do when EMP'd right now. Like when I get EMP'd, it's like, holy shit, what do I do? I panic a little bit, and I think everyone will. Lucio basically cuts down the time the enemy team has to go, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I can plan around it and sort of think about it. How do you rate Sombra's effectiveness on King of the Hill maps? Low. Because again, Sombra relies on getting built up. You relies on building up a little bit of momentum, taking your time, waiting out, getting EMP, going in, boom, big engagement, big win. You don't have time for that on King of the Hill. Health packs are more important on King of the Hill in general, so you might be able to build something off the back of that. Like, health packs get used more on King of the Hill, but I don't think it's amazing. She is actually very good on some of the Oasis maps, because there's health packs very close to the point, so if you're defending on those, you can take over those health packs, really give your team an advantage. I think she's also good on Ilios on the Lighthouse map, for example, where there's a health pack that your team's often going to be fighting over. If you can take that, then it's good. On some of the other maps, you don't have those health packs available to fight around, so it's a little bit more vulnerable. Let's see. How do you feel about Sombra's DPS? Do you think it needs buffing? Like everyone says, you do agree with the buzz that we just need to master it first? I think Blizzard are being very careful. I think Blizzard are being a little bit too careful. Again, I would like to see a bit of power pulled away from our EMP. The ultimate charge rate, just nerf it a little bit and then put more power in a left click. And I think she'll be a lot more viable and a lot more generally useful. Bubble Zarya, Sombra EMP. Does Zarya lose bubble and shields? Ooh, difficult question. I think she loses both. She might not. Like, I'm not 100% sure. I think you've asked this before, and I didn't have a good answer for you then. All I know is that getting rid of a Zarya bubble is really fucking good anyway, and she doesn't gain charge from that loss either. If an enemy has a Widow or Hanzo, is it worth to distract them, or is it better to ignore them and just shoot the Hog the whole time for a faster EMP? Probably the latter. Like, if you want to counter the Hanzo or Widow, you play Genji. And you go and you shit all over them. If you're trying to duel the Hanzo or Widow, like, don't get me wrong, if there's an opportunity where, like, Widow is just completely fucking tunneled in, you can run up behind her and just drill her in the head, do it. It kills her super fast. But if you start getting into these protracted duels, just get the hell out, because you're going to have a hard time finishing her off, because, again, Widow is very slim. She's, again, all, like, booty, and it's very, very hard to hit her with Sombra's, crappy super spread weapon. So you just definitely want to get out. Hanzo, definitely don't engage in a long duel with him. He can kill you way faster than you can kill him. Don't give him an opportunity to. Get out. Run. Basically, like some maps like Temple of Anubis, especially on defense, is that decent on the second point, especially if there's a big health pack next to the point. Yeah, I can see that being true. I think she'd be okay on Anubis. I've seen her being used on Anubis before as well. She's very good for like the counter engage on 2CP. I think, again, she's very strong on offense on 2CP as well, for the same reason she's strong on payload. I think 2CP might be where she really shines. Because imagine, like, you know, the standard defense on Hanamura, everyone's just standing on a big clump on the high ground. If you EMP that and just run in, you should be able to win instantly. And I think, like, Blizzard are just scared of having a hero where the game just becomes build up EMP, get EMP, win fight. Because that's definitely what the game could become if Sombra gets stronger. When is it better to swap versus say on a current hero to use ult? If the current hero is really not working, if your ultimate's bad for the situation, so in this second half, for example, I'm just going to vanish the chat. You know, when we made our swap, like, we're fighting in these huge open areas. Now let's go all the way back here. I think this will do here. Like, we're fighting in these big open areas. Our team can't even get near the enemy team because they're just killing us so quickly. So even though we use this EMP, no one's in position to be able to capitalize on it. No one can get in position to capitalize it. No one can do anything. So in this instance, like, you just have to put a bit of forethought and say, yeah, the EMP is probably not going to really do that much. And just get the earlier swap, because what the earlier swap lets you do is start building up that tracer a lot faster. It lets you start exerting pressure with tracer a lot faster, doing more with tracer faster, and generally just getting a little bit more bang for your buck out of that hero. Does a hack stop Mercy's passive heal? Don't think so. There's the sub from Cludy. Oh, all the hype. Love it. Okay, why is Sombra's damage considered low? It's over 2 seconds. Tracer Sombra has the same theoretical DPS. Sombra has bigger spread, basically, and Sombra can't get in effective range as quickly as Tracer can, so Tracer can blink in, get into effective range and stay there, and keep fighting there for a very long time. Sombra can't. Sombra has to get right in front of someone, and she can't blink around to avoid damage, she can't take her time, she can't think about it, she can't retrieve things to get hairy, she can't recall to regain her health, she just has to retreat, and then the enemy goes and gets healed. So she has a much harder time dealing that actual damage. Don't get me wrong, Sombra's damage can be very high, but it's like people have said, you know, if you just tighten the spread very slightly on Sombra, she'll be very powerful. What would you call the pathological aversion some people have to shooting mercies? TF2itis, because it's existed since like the medics existed in TF2. It's always been a thing. Like, target priority is very, very hard to do, and honestly, it's very hard to do because adjusting what your priorities are on the fly in a game is actually quite difficult. Like, when you're in a team fight, like, this is literally the instance everyone was getting angry at, myself included. Oop, to get some reality in the back. There we go. You know, we're in a fight, we just dropped our ultimate, we can see he's on half hit points, maybe he can get an opportunity there, but in all the time that he's hacked, he's already regaining hit points. If we're drilling nothing but headshots into him, maybe we can kill him, but we run up to him, we start taking damage, it's all going wrong. We're thinking about swapping our hero anyway, so maybe we just want to die as fast as we can. Can we even get to the Mercy? Can we get behind this character? All these thoughts are like blitzing through your mind. Just being able to relax and make that decision of, yeah, maybe I should be pressuring the Mercy, so maybe, you know, our Rodok can kill the Mercy even more efficiently. Maybe that would be better. Maybe that would be a smarter decision. Do you think EMP should be able to stop Transcendence? No. Because she's already a hard counter to Zenyatta. If that happened, like, Zenyatta gets picked, Sombra gets picked, Zenyatta just has to swap. Especially because Sombra builds ultimate faster. You will never be, like, Graviton Surge will just land, Transcendence will go off, Uganda is useless, boom, no one can do anything, the enemy team is just dead. Transcendence at least offers you a block, a defense. Could Sombra and Tracer be used together as a duo? Sombra hacks, Tracer kills? Sure, it's the same theory as like the dive comp. You missed what I typed? Zeta, I'm sorry, was it lost somewhere? You can see how many questions are getting here. Did you know that if an enemy Sombra gets healed by Mercy or a bubbles area, you can see even if she's invisible? Yes, I vaguely knew that. I know about the bubbles, the Zarya bubbles. You can generally see where the bubble goes and then it vanishes. I think the Mercy beam, like, it like goes out and then it vanishes halfway, but you can sort of get a general idea. There we go. Only Zarya only loses barrier, not shields. Okay, good to know. How do you counter Sombra? Seeing as Winston can get hacked and wrecked. Like, getting hacked and wrecked just means you have to be very careful about when she's hacking you. If you can, like, if you land on the Sombra and just keep putting damage on her, you can't get hacked, so she can't hack you anymore, so you just win. Otherwise, like, you have to be very conscious when EMP is coming and then capitalize when EMP is not coming, and don't panic about the Sombra too much otherwise, because she's not too big of a threat. So you just got to punish the enemy team and make sure the enemy team when they don't have EMP available, you are working as hard as you can to deal a lot of damage. I think we'll take a couple more questions. How to counter Sombra follows up from this one. I don't necessarily think dive comp is a full answer, because if you're defending with a dive comp, it's a little bit trickier, because you're relying very heavily on engages going well, and engages can go very badly. Sombra has a smaller spread than Tracer. Does she? If the bloom animation is any clue, don't rely on the bloom animation. And anyway, like Tracer can, like I said, Tracer can get into effective range a lot easier. Anyway, I think that's it for questions. That works for me as well. I think, yeah, that will wrap it up nicely for us. So thank you for watching to the end. If you have made it this far to the end of the video, if you want to submit footage for Coaching the Many, do not be afraid. Do not ask me, oh, what's the perfect video to submit for Coaching the Many? Just send them in. In general, like if you're watching this video and thinking, I've got that wonderful Sombra game I can send in, might not be the best time to send it in right now because I've just done Sombra. So I'm probably not going to do her again for a little while, but we'll see. Considering that you believe the nation of Uganda is to be useless, what is your favorite African nation? Numbani. It's just what she says. She says Uganda is useless. But yeah, say bye, YouTube. Make sure you send in footage if you want to record it. You have to record it yourself. Unfortunately, there's no replay feature. I really hope they get that in nice and soon. I hope they get that in quickly. That would be really nice of Blizzard. Make my life way easier, as I'd be able to jump around and look at games in detail. Won't be just pausing a YouTube video quite so much. If you're the kind of person that complains that I pause too much, too fucking bad. We're going to pause a lot on this series, no matter what, and really break stuff down in depth. So that's why we were pausing. If you want quick bite-sized coaching, there's other places for it. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you to everyone who subbed during this, and yeah, what here you do tomorrow? I don't know. We'll find out. It's a surprise. Even to me, it's a surprise. I generally wait till the day because I'm disorganized like that, and I like to give people as much time as possible to send in stuff. So yeah, it feels good. Yeah, thank you for watching to the end. Bye, YouTube. Toodles.